Okay. So now it's April 21st, 2022, and I'm in War Room 2, aka, quote unquote, the sewing room. I come in here, it's about 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm making a coffee, okay? I come in here, you know, like the good old days, and I'm like immediately almost thinking of Uncle John, like the good old days. I sat down and I'm like, I'm looking around, right? And I'm like, this isn't like the good old days. It's not like the good old days. It feels like it could be the good old days. It feels like it used to be the good old days. But I'm going to have to do some major changes in here if it's going to be any kind of good old days. So I'm sitting here talking to myself, saying, yeah, John, you know, I'd be in here sewing, beating, doing whatever I was doing in the good old days. And he'd be rattling around in the kitchen, you know, with the dishes, and he'd be making toast, and he'd be having his coffee, and then he'd come and he'd ask me, do you want tea? And then he'd bring me tea, and I'd be like busy, 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 right? Or on days like this, I'd be in here sewing, doing whatever, and he'd be sleeping. I used to do the night shift, he did the morning shift. I'd be going to bed at 7 o'clock in the morning. Or he was an early bird. He'd get up at 5:30, but if he heard me running around at 5:30 in the morning, he wouldn't come out, right? Because that was my time, right? If I went, there's times I used to work, right? So do whatever, right? Working on the nonprofit, making web pages, whatever it was. Oh, I'd be like 6:30, 7 in the morning. I'm like, I'm going to sleep. He'd be getting up. But he'd already gotten up. He'd be up by 5:30, like clockwork. But he used to lay and listen to his radio, right? But it was a joke between him and I. He was the morning shift, I was the night shift. And it worked out really, 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 really well. So when I come in here, oh boy, I sure do miss those good old days. I miss Uncle John. I really do. I don't think I'll ever stop missing him. No. I'm waiting for my water to boil. And I'll come back. I'll just touch base on a few things in here. Yeah. I'm gonna do some moving. Yeah. Move some of this stuff out as much as I can so I can organize it, because it's not moving. I figure by the time it comes time for court, okay, this is the way I'm going to approach the problem, and I don't care if the government is watching. On my day, I am going to show up with my paperwork, okay? I don't care how many boxes I bring, because there will be boxes. Some of them will be in triplets. Some of them will be as is in terms of it's one binder. But it hasn't been photocopied in triplets. I only got one set. So in a situation like that, I would ask the court for more time so I can ease in that financial cost for that. Being that I'll have so much of it, right? What else you gonna do, right? They can't say you didn't try. If you show up with 8 boxes of binders and tell the judge that you don't have enough money to pay for the photocopy because you're poor, basically, nobody can't say you didn't fucking try, okay? I think my water's boiling now, so hold on a minute. So anyway, I don't know, people, I can't see nothing in here. Nope. And it's like fine print, right? I can see, but nothing. My old glasses, these ones, they're not even working. Because this eye, right? And my eyes don't adjust to the colors of the light. These light bulbs are too yellow. They used to be okay for me, but not anymore. Nope. Not anymore. So, anyway. What the heck? So, I think what I'm going to do, being that it's a war, I'm going to take pretty much a good 95% of the paperwork out of here. One swoop. Yeah. I'm going to put it over there, and I'm going to sort out one thing at a time, and then I'm going to go put them where it belongs. And I'm going to work through it until it's in those binders. And if I get a chance to photocopy in triplet, that's what I'll do. So I'm just familiarizing myself right. I'm not sure what I want to use for this thing that I'm doing. I got cheap gold beads here for $1.75 in the good old days. You can see 2 of them. But I got those other beads that are actually gold plated. So I'm looking for something a little more worthwhile my time. But I don't know if I'll find it in here. That would be interesting. Yeah. Look at this. It's already made. Well, how does this open? I don't know. pretty. I'm not sure how it goes though. So yeah, I'm just going to take out everything. And I'm going to sort it out one box or one whatever it is I got in here at a time. And I'm going to try and get as much done as I can before court. Oh, here we go. Got it. Where are we? It's weird. It's a weird clasp. That's interesting. Where am I? Look at that clasp. This is pretty. Oh, this is so nice. Look at that. You know, my son is still talking about moving out. Because his girlfriend wants to move. Him to move. I'm trying to be strong, you know. Be supportive, right? Be the adult, right? I guess this goes here. And it just closes. I've never seen a clasp like that before. Might have to change that. So, you know, I'm thinking I have another one of these around in there. I'm thinking, those are nice. I'm thinking, when I die, I guess this girl's going to inherit all this. Or at least what Tisha doesn't want. Tisha says she doesn't want it. Or at least not much of it. Right? What's this? Another pearl necklace of some kind. I can never get this camera right. I don't know why. There we go. I don't know if it's because it's my eyes or if it's the camera. If you notice that, I never can seem to, because when you go, I have to go right in front of the lens. There we go. It just needs to be attached on. See, I'm missing. See, I need a light blaring right down on it. It just needs a loop, a little loop. That's all it needs. I'm sure I'll find that. What do I do with this stuff, people? Even if I fix it. I have a camera here. I gotta stop drinking so much coffee. It keeps me company. Andre asked me why I drink it. I said, because it keeps me company. It's true. I got this camera. I charged it and then I wasn't using it. And last time I turned it turned on, and now it won't turn on. So I guess it needs to be recharged. But this is, I can take pictures and then upload them onto the computer. So I bought this in a garage sale for $60 back in the day when I had my car on the road. Oh, that was like years and years and years and years ago. It can take like a short little video, just a very short one, eh? And it can take pictures and stuff. And it has a bigger lens too. So this is the camera that I'm going to try and use to take pictures for these books that I'm going to try and build a web page for, so I can upload it onto my nonprofit website. And I'm already in communications with HSBC Bank to help me set up a system where I can add in a donation link to the bank account, or if I'm selling something, you know, depending on what it is and how it's being sold, right? Because the books are mine. I'm not selling everything to give the money to the foundation just for it to go dissolution so it can owe me $40,000. That doesn't make no fucking sense, okay? Because personally, I'm tired of being on that bandwagon. Okay? But I might make a donation to the foundation, and I'll set the precedence in terms of, you know, business, in the event that somebody else wants to open up a bookstore and pay me a fee to host it on my website. As if I got time for all that HTML, right? Doing updates, eh? On the website, right? But that's kind of the goal, right? It keeps me motivated, I suppose. So we've got the camera. I'm going to plug this in tonight or tomorrow morning. I don't know. I have to read the directions again. I don't use it enough to remember. But I can't do anything in here until I get some crap out. And the only way I'm going to do it is move those musical books. And the shit that I wanted to bring down from downstairs up was going to fill up some of that. But I don't know. I think I need to just move this stuff out. Open it up so I can, you know, have a life. Maybe do a little bit of beating, assuming that I can even see the shit. Right. Sew a little bit. That would be good. That's what I need to do. I was looking online for bibs for Amari. They're like for 6 bibs. Was it 6? $30. And I don't even know if they're going to be the right size, right? So now I'm on the hunt for some terry cloth in my travels, something that maybe I can try to make a bib, right? But I need table space. I need to be able to get to my sewing machine. It doesn't take a lot of effort to make bibs. And then if I can do that, then I can make him some pants or something. Right, I just have to find the patterns. Good luck finding patterns. Because I used to sew for my own kids, right? I have the patterns that I made when my kids were 5 years, 4 years, 3 years old, 2 years old. The same patterns, they're still kicking around. Just have to find them. I don't know when I'm going to find all this time to sew, but definitely sort out this paperwork though. Right? I have to figure out a different way to do it where I can actually get it done versus sitting here looking at it thinking I'm doing it and I'm never doing nothing. So that out of here. Look, there's a binder down there. I don't even know what it is. I need to put a label on it. That can go. That can go. That. This box down there. This box, do you see? Look, there's another box. Right? Get it out of here. Right? Yeah, I'll do that tomorrow. My son in his dream, we know what I did for 3 days. Right? First it was sauerkraut. Then it was make the butter. Then it was, well, I canned the sauerkraut. Next day I made the butter. And then the next day after that, I canned it. Right? And then today, cleaning. Right? Washing dishes and wiping things down and wash rags and, just whatever, right? And I'll tell you, people, all day I was having a panic attack because I wasn't downstairs. And I asked my son tonight, I said, are you, and his girlfriend was there. Right? And I said, you guys still moving out? And yeah. She's all, yeah. Perky about it, right? And I understand. In terms of a human being being 30 at that, wanting to get on with their own life, right? And I asked my son too, a month ago or whatever it was, I said, well, who wants to move, you or her? Or is it both of you, right? Where did it come from? Out of the blue kind of thing, right? She wants to move. I said, well, she wants, right? And he's, right, going, right? And I said, for what purpose? To entertain. And I'm like, okay. Well, there's a part of me that, and I try and warn my son that he's going to get a rude awakening with the economy soon enough. And if the shit hits the fan, that's when he'll appreciate me, people. right? But right now, no. I don't want to say they don't have any responsibilities because they do, right? But anyway, there's so many things I could say. There's so many things I want to say. Like, for example, okay, there's two ways to look at it, right? My son is either pussy whipped, you know how men get, they're just pussy whipped, right? They'll go to the end of the earth for the one that they love because they're pussy whipped, right? Or, oh, what was the other one that I was just thinking of? I thought it's the women that are supposed to follow the man, right? You either pussy whipped, right? Or you're going to have the woman follow the man. She will go wherever he goes. If he says, we're here, she goes and she supports her man through thick and thin. I'm not seeing that. I'm seeing, I don't want to say yuppies, but they're kind of like yuppies. I mean, the only people that I know that want to entertain are yuppies. And I'm like trying to imagine what kind of entertaining is so important versus your mother who's going blind. And it's not like he doesn't fucking know, okay? And, I'm highly wounded, right, in terms of loss of family members. Like, my support system has been Sierra. For all her flaws, people, Sierra liked to clean, and Sierra was a good cook when she cooked, okay? And even when she was homeless, she was still coming around here freaking cleaning. I'd wake up and she'd be on the porch cleaning the fucking porch, okay? Like, I don't get that from my son, and I don't get that from Tisha. She may like to cook for me, and I know for a fact, people, if she was alive, she wouldn't abandon me. I know that, okay? Notice I said abandon, because I feel somewhat abandoned, although realistically, as an adult, I do accept the fact that adult children move on with their own lives, okay? But, my son is with the attitude right now that, like, when I, try and bring up the subject about what's going on in the economy and stuff like that, he says, oh, well, don't worry, the government will make sure there's always food in the grocery store because, they're going to make sure that the herd is fed. In other words, he's comfortable just being a part of the fucking herd, and wherever the government leads you to, that's where you're going to be, kind of thing. Where I'm not like that, people. Like, although I am, because I'm dependent on them, but intellectually I'm not. Right? That's why we've got War Room 2, War Room 1, and War Room 3, because intellectually I just don't fucking get with the herd to be led to a cliff, to be pushed off it, right? As a cheap way to slaughter the herd. Right? Because I think there's lots of people going through that experience right now. And I don't take it for granted that it won't happen to us. In Canada. British Columbia, Canada, that. The best place to be on the earth. As Gordon Campbell would say with his 5 great fucking goals, right? Or was that Christy Clark with her 5 great goals? So anyway, I'm not trying to be resentful here, okay? I'm trying to be copacetic and adult-like. right? But I don't understand. Because I see their relationship in a honeymoon period. Right? And if this girl really wanted to be with my son, okay, unless my son is not being completely truthful with me. I mean, obviously he's torn, but he's also 30 years old and wants to get on with his own life while he still has a chance. And I don't blame him. I'd want the same thing. But I don't know. Like, she comes here a lot because he picks her up and brings her here, and then he takes her back home. I think she lives with her parents. She's about 28 years old, almost the same age as Marcane, just a little younger. And you'd think that she'd go out of her way, just even a little bit, to tidy up the laundry room, for example. Being that she wants to be with my son, and clearly I don't use the laundry room, people. So she just keeps on walking by. And I seen that with Austin, seen it with Julian, you know, seen it with Joan, right? Even my own kids, they do it, right? But I'm like, okay, you guys are gonna go move in together, and when the shit starts piling up, because it will, who's gonna clean it? Is it gonna be my son? Because he's not doing it now. He's waiting for me to go down there and do it. And it's not even my mess in terms of lint all over the laundry room and, you know, clothes scattered around that aren't even mine, and just that kind of shit, right? And I can already hear them bickering. Like, who's gonna wash the bathtub? Will it be her or will it be him? Or are they gonna take turns? It's your turn. And for how long? In the real world, that is. Because if she's not willing to help him out here and say, oh, I can see that your bathtub needs to be washed out. Obviously, your mom's not in there, right? I don't use his shower, like bathtub, right? I don't, right? But it needs to be cleaned. So if she cared about my son, why wouldn't she take 10 minutes out of her day and fucking clean the bathtub for him, being that she wants to live with him and is basically asking him to move out and be with her? And I think she's an only child, which, if she is, oh my God, we know what only children are like for the most part. I'm not saying completely broad brush, but, you know, they're pretty self-centered people. And I'm like, okay, well, we'll see what happens 6 months down the line after they move out together. Are they going to be fighting about whose turn it is to wash the bathtub? Or is she just never going to wash it? And because we know my son won't wash it once in a blue moon. Who knows when that blue moon is? I'm just using that as an example. I mean, clearly she must know that I'm worn out, tired, overworked, busy, right? You'd think she'd take a broom and sweep where the door is, because my son, you know, had a fireplace, so he cut up a bunch of wood out there for her. Okay? Seriously. Made a nice little fire and shit. But he left the wood chips behind. And nobody's swept them up yet. And it's been too cold. And I don't want to make myself sick. So I can't go outside just too soon to go sweeping up fucking wood chips that are basically right by his door, basement door, because that's where he was cutting up all this damn wood. Why doesn't she offer to help sweep that? Simple. It would no more than 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes of her time. And if she can't do that here, I'm just wondering what she's going to be like when they move in together. And that's why I'm kind of supportive about my son moving out, because, I hope for his sake that it works out good and they can have a healthy relationship. The one thing good about this girl is she has two parents that are still together after all these years. And they're responsible. And they have a healthy relationship. But she's still an only child that is actually very demanding in terms of, well, I don't want to live here. I don't want to help you do anything other than I'll wash dishes. I might sweep the kitchen floor, but don't ask me to wash the bathtub because that's not my bathtub. Don't sweep in front of the door before you go into the basement because your mother should be doing that. I've seen that attitude long before she ever showed up, people. And if she's like that already, I'm just wondering what's going to end up happening. And I hope for my son's sake that they can work it out and have a healthy relationship. But I know if it was me, you see, but not everybody's me, and I can't compare myself to other people. But if it was me, and if I really cared about somebody, even if I was asking them to move out because I wanted to do whatever it was that I wanted to do, while I was around, I would have gone out of my way just a little bit to help out more than what's happening. In terms of, I would have seen that it needed to be swept before you go into the basement, being that, I was the one that sat in front of the fireplace, right? I never got to. I smelt the smoke when it came up the chimney, but I never seen the firework because it was downstairs. I don't put this one on upstairs. She did. So she benefited, but she doesn't feel like she should sweep up. And if she's going into the relationship like that, now, I can only imagine. But that's a part of growing up, right? That's a part of going out and having those experiences. And you can't have those experiences until you fly the nest, right? So I'm wondering, God forbid, people, if I get fucking robbed down there with all that food that I just bought. Like, seriously. Alright, that'd be really bad. Really fucking bad. Steal all my fabric yet. Because my son won't be living down there. It'll be some stranger. Like, how did I even get into this predicament? And because of a girl yet. Last year, I tried to kick my son out, remember? You can't kick me out. Take me to the landlords and tenancy branch. At branch, if you want me to leave, I'll just take you to court, and I'll be here for months. I'm like, holy shit, why are you talking to me like that? Get the fuck out if you don't like it. I'm not going nowhere. Like, he literally dug his heels into the ground. Taunted me on it, too. Thought he was being a smartass. And now, it's the shoe is on the other foot, right? He's leaving, and I'm like, holy shit. But I'm trying to have a good attitude about it. And I hope for his sake. I don't know. I mean, obviously for her sake. But, I'm just like, Well, if you're going to inherit all this when I'm dead, being that you're with my son, you know she's going to want some of it because she sews, right? Then the least you could do is fucking sweep outside, right? I mean, you can see it needs to be swept, right? I'm sure you can take 10, 15 minutes and help me out, but no, it's not like that. It's like, I said, well, when you guys talking about moving? Oh, and then my son's, well, I don't know, you know, because he had to fix his brakes, eh? So she wants him out soon, sooner than he wants to, even though he just had to fork out $3,000 for his fucking brakes. That's what I mean. Like, what's the rush? If you really love my son, you'd fucking wash his bathtub for him, right? To help him out, being that he drives you home and picks you up and brings you here and then takes you back home. If he's willing to go back and forth for you, why can't you take 10 minutes and wash the bathtub for him? Being that that's not his quote-unquote forte. Right? At least do that for him if you can't take the time to sweep up the wood chips for me. To help me out a little bit. But you see, if she walks by it and she sees it, she's got something to bitch about. In terms of me, right? Because I didn't get down there fast enough to sweep out the fucking garage. No, I'm waiting for the weather to warm up, and I'm going to see if I can get Tisha and Alice to come by. I'm hoping that my son will be there, and I suggested that maybe his girlfriend could help out that day too, and that would be how many people? That would be 5 people, and with 5 people working for 2-3 hours, that garage could be completely fucking cleared out, swept, sprayed down, everything. It'd be a whole brand new garage with 5 people working at one time versus leaving it on my shoulders to fucking do it all by myself. Okay. So I'm just waiting for the weather to warm up. I've already asked Tisha to pencil it in. And I've asked my son to pencil it in. So it's just a matter of coordinating a time when everybody can meet and just get it done. There's things that need to be hammered, right, and repaired. Garage, porch repairs. I have pieces of plywood in there and stuff. All right, I couldn't even do it by myself, even if I wanted to. I can't hold a fucking piece of plywood, right, and hammer at the same time. Can you see me doing that? Well, you know, okay, people, this is what we're doing today. Okay. So, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to worry about right now and what's most important and what's the best way to get things moving in here. And I think the best thing is just to start taking these boxes out, get them ready to put them in that other cupboard. Oh, you see? All my bills. I have this bad habit of keeping track of things. Month to month. Cable, hydro, Commerce, MasterCard, those kind of things. Yeah. See? Oh, shit. I have to go through these fucking bags. These are all receipts and God knows what. So I figured take everything out, clear everything off the table as much as I can, right, make it so I can get in here and just, you know, for that mental therapy and maybe make some bibs, save myself some money, right? And, what do you call it? Just take out one thing at a time and I don't know. Like, look at this. This is what I mean. It's stupid, people. It's so fucking stupid. Like, this is no way to live. Okay, this is how the government makes people sick. I seen it with, when was the first time I seen it? When I lived at Gateway Place. Look. Oh my God, I can't even. Oh, this is heavy. Look, I'll just show you. Look. Do you see this? What kind of way is this to live? Tell me. First time I seen it, in terms of how governments, with their targeting and all that crap, right? Wear down people. Obviously, there's injustice involved, right? And then the people, they try and fight back, okay? That's basically what happens, like in my situation. But through that process, you tend to accumulate a lot of paper. I seen it with, what was her name? Patty or something, I don't know. I was at Gateway Place. That's when I was doing all that stuff with the children in the courtyard, right? And programs and whatever. And she was my neighbor in the apartment, right? And I don't know what happened, but she ended up getting evicted. Because she kind of went cuckoo, right? So a lot of her stuff ended up in the bin because she couldn't take it with her, right? And she gave me, I went into her apartment. I'm telling you, people, it was just fucking paper for the most part. It was like boxes and boxes, okay? And she was like, obviously she couldn't take it with her and stuff, right? And so she gave me a whole whack of paper that was related to the city of Surrey and the school board out here, because she used to be on the school board or something, and she had access to internal files. So that's what a lot of that shit was. And there was something going on with, I don't want to say money laundering, but it was kind of like that, right? $2 million, and where did it go, and this is how you'd write, and anyway, she was kind of fighting for justice, and that's why she had all this paperwork. And of course, her employment was terminated because of, of her ethics, right? But in the end, it just kind of made her bonkers. And I seen so much of that paper go into the bin, right? Plus, like I said, she gave me some. So that was the first time I seen that overwhelming, burden of paper, right? As my own nonprofit paperwork was accumulating, okay? Don't forget, okay? But that was different, okay? And then Angelica was another one I seen, where she lost her kids and she was fighting to get them back. And she was coming in with binders, right? She died now. She's dead. Anyway, for as hard as she tried with all her paper, it didn't get her anywhere. Got her absolutely nowhere, people. And she was a real trooper about it too, trust me. Okay, she gave it a good fight, right? So much so that she even inspired me to keep doing what I was doing. Because I've known her for a long time, right? And she's been to the house here a few times. And now it's me. I feel kind of like the same way. The government put this huge burden on my shoulders in terms of the injustices. Not once, not twice, Not 3 times, not 4 times. It just goes on and on and on, right? Like, when does it stop? It doesn't seem to stop. And then it ends up being like this. And then you get into a stalemate with it, right? Because it's so much, right? That's why I think I'm just going to move it all out. And then, if you were to ask me what's in here, I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you what's in here. I have no clue. Let's see. Let's see what's in this bag. Because this is the shit I have to sort out. Okay. It's copies. Look at this. Do you see this? What the hell? It's copies of statements of facts. Fraser Health Authority Amendment, Notice of Civil Claim. But the problem with this, though, is I'd have to double check it and make sure it seems to be okay. Like I said, some things I have, right? So I'd have to just double check it and make sure they're all the same. And then I've got my 3 copies. I don't know. This eye here, it just goes... Whew. It's almost like I want to wear a patch. Like, seriously. Yeah, you see, some of this stuff is no good because you can see I had Paul, the lawyer, check it. Where am I? Right there. I didn't do that. Somebody checked it for me. It was probably Paul. Yeah. See, I can't even read this. My eyes are bouncing all over the page. Oh boy. They're not good, people. This is not fucking good. And then that's what happens. Your eyes get fried out. Yep. Your eyes get fried out. See, here's more. Same stuff. This is not good. I can't see shit. I can't see with this eye. This eye is screwing everything up. I don't even know how I'm going to sort that out. Half of it is insignificant. I just keep it. It costs a lot of money to photocopy that shit. Not to mention the paper. Let's see what else is in here. See, now that I can get to the box. Where am I? Right. I can, this eye is just messed up. Completely messed up. Look at this. This is when they took Andre. This GoFundMe was taken down. Yeah, I set up a GoFundMe so I go get a lawyer. because they denied me legal aid. Right? Because I put an application in for custody of Andre, because that's what I was advised to do by a lawyer on the phone. Otherwise, they would have tried to take Andre away and adopted him out by the time he was 18 months old. So the lawyer told me to hurry up and get on with it in terms of putting that application in. But, you know, you can't go in front of family court unless you have a lawyer, right? That's what they tell you, right? Anyway, this didn't last very long. I was told that you're not allowed to fund for lawyers on GoFundMe. That's why they took it down. Whether that was true or not, I don't know. This here would be good for Tammy in terms of, if I could read this, finding and recommendation of the Domestic Violence Death Review Panel, May of 2010, Coroner Service. I don't know why I have that, other than what they did to John was domestic violence. What they did to Shemaine was domestic violence. What they did to Sierra was domestic violence. All right. And then this shit. Which should go into Andre's file. His binder. I wasn't impressed, people. Let's just put it that way. Okay? That's the crap that was going on in foster care. Honestly, I think the person was transgender. I don't even think it was a real woman. No. Fat and frumpy and ugly. Like real ugly. And what that individual did to my grandson was completely unnecessary. Okay, let's just put it that way. Yeah, you see, there's things in here that belong in different binders. This Amari stuff with Julian, this is court papers. Yeah, see? So, it's all court papers and stuff. A lot of it to do with Amari. So I'm just going to put this all back in this box. And I'm going to do section by section. And as I come across things, find the binders, put them in right away, and just... to the best of my ability. And when that time comes, people, and I gotta go to court, if I have it in triplets, I will submit it in triplets. If I have it just in a fucking box and it's just the one copy, then I'm going with the full freaking box. I don't care how many damn boxes I roll up into that courthouse with, because I'll be bringing them with me. I am serious. I will be bringing them with me because I don't know what else to do. You want to see a really nice sharpening stone? two of them. That is nice. I have a whole thing of knives here that need to be sharpened. That's just some of them. That's a nice knife. Look at that. I need that. This one's nice too. It's nice and heavy. I don't know if that's compromised. It seems compromised in here. I figure if I get them ready for a garage sale, right, I can sell them. That's what I'm thinking. As if I got time to be sharpening knives. But they'll sell better if they're sharp. I got a whole thing full. Oh, look at this one. This one's nice too. This one's really nice. I want some of these knives for myself. This one I'm going to sharpen, and when I cut the cod, this one might work. That black cod, I don't know. What do you think about this one? I guess that's for a wedding cake or something, eh? Make music. Did I show you this one already? Oops. This one's nice too. What would be the purpose of that? What is the purpose of that? What do you think? It's made that way. I gotta sharpen knives. So, we started. I'm just gonna keep on it. That's my goal for tomorrow. But I get panic attacks when I'm not working downstairs, even though my son's moving out, and he's having dreams of me having a heart attack. Okay, but I'm only having panic attacks, okay? Trying to be brave. Well, I'll show you the sewing room. What do you think? Huh? See? Take that out, oh, that. There's another one underneath there. There's a box down there. Yeah. At least start with all that, right? Whatever papers, those kind of things. There's a whole bunch over there in that corner. I'm taking it all off. Yeah. I'm going to start sharpening my knives. I'm going to clear this out in here, see if I can get into this sewing room. I'm sorry, sewing machine. Right there. Got a serger over there. That's why I need to move this stuff, right? Before I go, look at these nice buttons. Serious. These belong like on fur coats. probably belong on my coats. I just have to put them back on. This one. It's a nice button. Here's another one. That's a fur coat one. This is nice. Yeah. Got some nice buttons here. Anyway, that's just some buttons I have. Oh, lots of buttons. It'd be nice if I could see them better, that is. Okay. I'm just working on moving this paperwork out. I'm putting it all on the couch. And then tomorrow I'm going to move things around. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'll clear off this sewing table. Get into my sewing machines, hopefully, over the next little while. A week. I'm going to try and make bibs. Yeah, I'm going to start with that if I can find some fabric. All my fabric's mixed up, so. Oh, got this one there. That's going to be a new jar. I like to keep things in jars, right? I'll show you. We've got some shells in there, but I got tons of shells all over this house. For curtains, or whatever. Well, that's a little foam. But I got a whole bin of foam, craft stuff. Eyeballs. Oh, here's something I can use. These are gold buttons. All kinds of different kinds in there. What's this? Glass beads. Look at that. Those are glass beads. This is heavy. That's all glass beads, people. Nice ones. I don't even think my kids would realize the value around these beads in terms of if you were to buy them today. Oh, some beautiful rocks. Oh, wood beads. I got tons of these all over the place. Back in the day. Oh, when I was pregnant with Shmay, 95, 96, 97, I used to buy bags full of that crap. Some bells, I've got other bells. More bells. Bells for Andre. Actually, those bells are out in the X Club. When I went to court fighting for Andre, before I had a lawyer, I went in with a bunch of bells. And we did that little event, Bells for Andre. Those bells are still sitting in the X Club. Yeah. I'm trying to get motivated in here. I'm not doing very good. Nope. I need to find beating needles. That's what I need. Now, how fast was that? That was fast. Considering all things said, I knew exactly where they were. Yeah. See? Beating right there. Nice long ones. Cool. I knew exactly where they were. So you can see I'm working on it. In the meantime, I got this binder here that in the good old days when I could actually see better. Look how much is here, people. Okay? That's what I mean. Oh shit. I don't want to lose what I'm looking at. Hold on a minute. I already lost it. Okay. I'm going through this, right? I'm looking for something. I haven't found what I'm looking for. I'm wondering how I list this, people. I'm going to have to open up each one. And I'm going to have to decide how I want to. Because you photocopy 200 pages at a time. And then you can get them fitted into those little curly things, and it makes a binder, right? Boy, I just can't get this. I just can't get with this camera. Anyway. Or you go 200 pages and you put it in a binder. But I like to keep my stuff in plastic. So I'm going to have to take each one out. I bought the stamps for it and stamp each page until I get to 200. So I'd have to take this out and there's 4 pages, stamp, put it back in. Take that out, stamp, put it back in, so on, right? I'm reading this. It says some corpses may mysteriously heat up after death. When I got to Shimei, she was quite warm. I always had the sense that Julian had molested her because he changed her shirt, people. That I know for sure. And he probably changed her pants because she urinated and defecated. Okay, but I never seen that. Okay, I never seen between her crotch and underneath her butt because I just didn't. Right, she was laying on the couch and Julian picked her up and put her on the floor when the ambulance people said that on the phone. Okay, anyway, this is going on talking about how there was a 69-year-old man who died of a heart disease. Right? And I guess there was nurses, so it must have been in a hospital or something. Psst, it's cats. Hold on. Anyway. Okay. And he died. And then the nurses were getting ready to go prepare his body, right, down, to move his body down to the lab for autopsy. And they noticed his skin was unusually warm. Shimei's was unusually warm, but she was clearly dead, people, because you could tell by the color of her skin. And she was just so litless. And the foam was coming up through her nose, the foam was coming up through her mouth. There's something being addressed with that there. Hold on. Okay, I'm sitting here going through these pages. I can barely read, people. Okay, I'm serious. Like, you don't know. I'm supposed to get prescription glasses. I don't know, just for walking around. Delivered to me. But it's been like, what, a week and a half now since I went to that clinic. They said that even though they were closing down, I'd still get the referral for the eye doctor, and they would deliver me the glasses, that they were still going to do that. I don't know. So in the meantime, it's almost like I have to cover this eye. Eh? Just some, like, I don't know. I'm going to read this. Okay? This was, printed out in 1990. Okay? When Shmei died, it was 2018. So that was 28 years after this was written. And from what I'm reading here, now, I need to get back up on this and familiarize myself with these words and what all this stuff says, so that, I can present my case as if they're going to listen to me, right? But when they moved Shmei's body from the carpeted floor in the living room, not even 10 feet into the vinyl floor in the kitchen, that was done with intent, people. There was no reason to be moving Shmei's body. It's not like they put her on a stretcher or anything, people. They took her body out in a hammock, okay, with 3 men carrying her body on each side of the hammock. And that's how they carried her out, with the hammock enclosing her like that, so you could see nothing. Okay? So obviously they're using the hammock as a shield to hide something. Okay? Because they also did that when that guy over there in that house over there died. And my neighbors seen the coroner out there and the police and everybody, but they came out with the guy dead in a hammock. The hammock covers the body. You don't see what's going on, okay? I always say, and I stand my ground on this, people, when they moved her body to that final floor, they did something. They pinched off something. They did something, okay? And whatever they did probably produced blood. And it spilled out, and that's why they moved her body onto the vinyl floor, because that would have been easy to clean up. Whereas if whatever they punctured to pinch off something, right, because you have to remember, they had to make it look like she was alive somehow, some way in the hospital to some degree, while they were making preparations to take out her organs. Okay, Tisha was there, Julian was there, apparently Tamika showed up and was there. Okay, I didn't go because Julian was there. That's the first thing. Plus, I had other things I had to do that were quite important when it related to protecting my grandson and finding out what the fuck happened to Shmei. Okay? So, they did something. Okay? I can feel it in my bones. There was no reason. She was on a flat surface. They can't say, well, we wanted to move her to a flat surface. No. She was on the... I can take a measuring tape and I'll measure it, and I'll show you no more than 10 feet, okay? Maybe 11, 12, not even that. From one to the other, from carpet to vinyl. There's only one reason they would do that, people, and that's because they pinched off something so that they could do whatever they were fucking doing, and they knew it was going to ooze out something, and they wanted to be able to clean it up to hide the fact that they fucking did something, and that's another reason why they took her out in a freaking hammock, so nobody could see what kind of shit was going on inside the hammock. Now I'm going to read this to you, and you're going to see what I'm talking about. Well, you're going to hear it. This is called, it's a very short little thing. I don't know how many pages. I'm going to take it out because I'm struggling to read it. It's only 2 pages. Not even very much. And then I'm going to end this video. I'm going to keep this binder out, and I'm going to start numbering it. And as I'm numbering it, I'm going to start listing it down under its own document list. And I'm going to number it up to 200, and then I'll cap it off at 200. Although I think if I can keep it in a binder, I don't have to. It's when you roll them up in those you know, those little curly things. You can only go as high as 200. So maybe if I leave it as a binder, I can go, if there's 400 pages here, so be it. There's 400 pages here, okay? I don't know how many pages are here. I have to start from the beginning of the book and go to the end. So I'm going to get ready on to start on that with this book, okay? Okay, now I'm really having a hard time with this eye, okay? I'm almost wanting to wear an eye patch, like it's that bad, okay? An approach to organ salvaging from non-heart-beating cadaver donors under existing legal and ethical requirements for transplantation. Now, you have to remember, this was written in 1990. You see? Okay? And she may died 28 years had already passed. Okay? So the technology has improved. All right? Abstract. Effective utilization of non-heart-beating cadaver donor organs is limited by the time required to obtain the necessary family consent. Right? They're bypassing family consent by any means necessary here, people. Prior to organ retrieval, a delay of at least 4 to 6 hours. This exceeds by far the maximum tolerance of kidneys to warm oh my Lord, I don't know how to pronounce it. Ischemia. I can't remember exactly what it means, so I have to start familiarizing myself with these words again, because I forgot. Measures that could oh my Lord, I'm so tired, man. I should be freaking in bed sleeping already. Theory, to be, as in theory, right? Permit use of such organs include 1. Rapid in situ flush cooling. 2. Continued in situ kidney cooling until permission for donation is secured. Now, this is on a dead body, okay? They're doing this on a dead body. They're cooling the kidneys on a dead body.
so that they can preserve the kidneys inside the dead body so that they can make arrangements to take out those kidneys and eventually transplant them into somebody else. Okay, this is what this is talking about here, okay? Why did they move Shimei's body from a carpeted floor, hard floor, onto a vinyl floor? Why? Because the vinyl floor was cooler than the carpet floor? What other reason would it be other than they wanted to clean up after themselves after they did something? Let me focus. 2. Okay, we'll just start with 2 again. Continued in situ kidney cooling until permission for donation is secure. And 3, cell membrane stabilization of vital organs. So not only one, there's more than one. They said organs with only minimal invasion of the donor body. Okay? Because they can't get in there and cut them out right away. But they need to preserve them in a non-intrusive way, in a minimal amount of way, in terms of being evasive, right? On that dead body until they can make arrangements to get them out of the body. Okay? This is what this is about. These measures were tested experimentally in dogs. Hemorrhagic shock was produced in mongrel dogs. Well, why didn't they choose a pedigree? 1 hour after cessation of heartbeat. Okay, here, listen to this. So they're doing this on a dead dog that's been dead for an hour, okay? Kind of like Shimei, right? Shimei was dead for an hour, okay? 3, cell membrane stabilization of vital organs with only minimal invasion of the donor body. These measures were tested experimentally in dogs. Hemorrhagic shock was produced in mongrel dogs. So I guess they killed them, right? 1 hour after cessation, which is death, of heartbeat, a rapid perfusion tube was placed into the femoral artery. I have to figure out where the fuck that is. It was advanced and its balloon, right? Okay, you listening to this? Was inflated in the aorta above the renal vessels. The kidneys were then flushed in situ with 1000 cc of cold preservation solution containing a calamine something inhibitor. Trifluoprazine. 2 other catheters, right? You put in a catheter, you're going to get blood, right? You don't want, you might end up getting a surge of it just in case, you made a mistake. So God forbid, if there was blood all over the freaking carpet, I'd be coming in saying, where the hell did that come from? What did you guys do? Of course not. They're not going to want that to happen, people. That's why they moved their body onto the vinyl floor. I always said it is because they wanted to clean up after themselves. They wiped everything fucking down. 2 other catheters were inserted percutaneously into the peritoneal cavity for continuous intraperitoneal cold perfusion. So they ran catheters into the body somewhere there, and they were running this cold perfusion through it. Okay, that was right. Core temperature of 4 degrees Celsius were maintained in situ in the kidneys for 5 hours. 6 hours after cardiac arrest, the kidneys were removed. So they preserved the kidneys in the dogs. I guess in humans too. I don't know. They definitely did it in freaking dogs in 1990. Okay. The kidneys were removed and preserved ex vivo at 4 degrees Celsius for 24 hours. So now they're outside of the body and they're being preserved on the outside. So they started off with preserving them on the inside. Finally got a chance to remove them and then kept them on ice and with their whatever they're doing here for 24 hours and were then transplanted into their respective hosts. N11, I don't know what that means, but anyway, where they sustained life uneventfully. So there was no problems. It was a success, that's what it's saying, right? Where was I? This method requires a 2-inch incision in the groin of the prospective donor. So instead of maybe up here, they went into her groin area. And 2 small stab wounds at the abdomen. So they do it through the abdomen and through the groin. Okay? EI, semi-invasive procedures which are commonly performed in emergency rooms. Why are we not surprised? If they're doing it as a common procedure in emergency rooms, you know that paramedics know how to do it. That's why they moved her body, people, to the vinyl. Okay? They were giving her chest compressions on the floor. They had her like on the carpeted floor. They were doing it so hard that I swear they were going to break her ribs. It was like completely unnecessary to the point the way they were doing it. And the one that was doing it, he looked up at me and I'm telling you, he looked so fucking guilty. He looked so guilty. He looked like he wanted to purge the truth. But of course he couldn't, right? Because, you know, everybody else was standing around watching him, right? You know, and they had their little machines and all that. But why would they move her body, people? And then they had her body on the floor for quite a while, on the vinyl floor. It took them a while to do this, okay? But once it was done, like I said, that cop gave Julian the fucking cue, okay? Looked at Julian. Julian looked at him. Next thing you know it, Julian's going, "Oh!" And then the cop said for me to go take Julian out of there. And then that was the fucking cue for the paramedics to put Shimei's body in a freaking hammock. But I came out and I caught them leaving. I seen them carrying her, going through the door into the garage, 3 on each side with her in a fucking hammock. Why? Why? Where was the gurney? For every time that they came and got freaking Joan. Joan was going to the hospital every 2-3 weeks, people, like clockwork. They always took Joan out in a freaking gurney. But not Shimei. They took Shimei out in a hammock so you couldn't see what was going on. Because they were hiding their equipment, people. That's why. That's why, people. The perfused body could then be released to the family if donation is denied. The recently documented increased willingness of the public to donate organs when the termination of life support is not an issue, and court decisions that have authorized the performance of non deforming diagnosis procedures in cadavers without consent suggests that the salvage of transplantable semi-invasive procedures described in this study may be useful in helping to alleviate the current shortage of transplantable organs. This technique can provide the time needed for families to consider. You see, they just stopped asking families, people. And the cops refused to investigate murder, people. Okay? The option of organ donation from non-heart beating cadaver donors in a unhurried and unpressured manner while preserving the viability of vital organs, so not only the kidney but other organs, during the decision-making process. So everything that I said is possible. Okay? That's what they did, people. That's what they did. That was the reason for moving her body. A technique for rapid harvesting of cadaver, renal, and pancreatic grafts after circulatory arrest. In Sweden, organs for transplantation cannot be removed from cadaver donors, but this is Sweden, okay, until cardiac arrest has occurred. We describe a technique for removal of kidneys and pancreas in which the whole, they take out the whole, okay, abdominal contents are freed and reflected so that the retroperitoneal organ lie uppermost. The aorta is opened longitudinally, and the relevant arteries are cannulated via the orifices. So they cut off the artery through the orifices somehow, some way. Cold perfusion of the three organs can usually be initiated 5 to 15 minutes after cardiac arrest, and significant ischemia is avoided. The full length of the vascular pedicles can be preserved, and the dissection of the retroperitoneal organs is greatly facilitated. I'll have to get my medical books out and start writing this shit down as if people, as if. Reperfusion injury. Perfusion is a big thing, eh? So I'm going to start numbering these. I'm going to find my little, I bought right? So I can date it and number it. Well, I don't necessarily, well, depends. Some things I might have to date, but I have to start numbering it and listing it and reading it over again, because I forgot a lot of this stuff because I didn't go to medical school. And now I can't even see it. It's so blurry you don't know. Like I'm a sitting duck. These people, they know it. Right? They're good at what they do, people. You hear all this paper? So, I'll go and start that in my travels. I'm just looking for something more interesting here. There's something I'm looking for. I don't think I've really found it yet. All right. It just keeps on going. My Lord. Oh. I don't know what's important, what's not important anymore in terms of this stuff. This is a big ass binder, okay? Like big. Look. You can't tell me that's not big. This is pathetic. Completely fucking pathetic. I came across her coroner report. Just one big fat lie. So, now don't you think that's the strangest thing? This is supposed to be, as far as I know, people, this is supposed to be residential. Okay? I don't think this is a business building. You got the one behind me, where the walnut trees are, is black as black, no lights on them. Nobody's moving in. It's been sitting empty for a year after it's been completed. Well, this one is almost completed. These big ass fucking dump trucks still going up and down, back and forth, all day long, rumbling, literally shaking my house. Okay. And look at this. Look at this. What the hell is this at 4:30 in the morning? What is in there? What is that? Like, seriously, what the hell is that? Somebody moving around out here. Oh my God. Like, what's inside there? Just a bunch of fucking lights. Like, this neighborhood's getting stranger and stranger. That's crazy. The whole bloody building. All the way down.